welcome to Banter Corner.
Let's talk about the Euros first.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy with the outcome of the Euros?
100%, man. 100%. In my opinion, football was saved. So yes, that's a good thing.
I think it was a great tournament.
Yeah,
As a neutral fan, I love it.
As a Spanish football supporter, I would have loved to see Spain in the finals.
Same here.
But you know, had I had it my way, I think I would have preferred to see Spain and Italy go at it in the finals. But unfortunately, their paths crossed before. But I think talking about Spain, we did not expect them to come that far. I mean, Shayan did say we'll fall out of
definitely. I actually like I support Spain normally, but this time I didn't feel like supporting them because of Luis Enrique's decisions in the squad selection. I know, but kudos to them. They made it far and they gave a good fight. But I think if they had like a better center forward or someone better than Morata, they would have definitely made it to the finals. Or
they were the better team in the semi as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we saw two teams who had completely different group stages. So to talk about England and Spain, I think they had a similar group stage situation where they weren't doing too well in their first couple of games, but we saw a great Spain comeback in the last game, 6-0 win, I believe, I'm sorry, a 5-0 win. And then we saw England too. They struggled in their first games. The first one against Croatia, they drew it out, and even against Scotland, they came up short. Whereas people believe that they'll have a great win. I mean, looking at the squad, all the young new guys from the Premier League, Harry Kane as captain, and to be honest, I was quite surprised that Jordan Pickford ended up being the best player of the team, carrying England all the way. I mean, clean sheets all the way through, right?
I mean, come on. Donnarumma was the player of the tournament.
Yeah, I think Donnarumma had a better tournament than Pickford, man, because
100%.
Pickford normally plays with. So, yeah, go ahead, Sam.
I don't know what Owen said was he was the best player for England, right?
No, my point is keepers had a good tournament.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think Italy 100% deserved it. I think what happened to England was Southgate overcomplicated it. He had I believe he had the best squad of all the players of all the teams in the whole of Euros. Definitely.
Scotland was unreal. They were young. They were.
Sorry?
The French team by far the best team, and they bottled it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'll put it this way: of the guys who made it real far, I mean, like England, if you take the squad as a whole, so much attack, man. Like they had Sancho, they had Rashford, they had Kane, they had Saka, they had Grealish. So, what was that?
I think Grealish actually, I believe it was a quarterfinals where he came in and he got 2 assists, I believe.
Exactly, man.
And put the game. They put the game in. He changed the game entirely. He was that man to change it after Southgate. I was quite surprised when he didn't start the next game.
I didn't get it at all. That's what I'm saying, man. Like a lot of Southgate's decisions went against him, but also went in favor of him at sometimes, and that got him to the final. And I believe, like in the final, he should have played with his best players, man. Like regardless of him not playing them all the time, should have just gone with Grealish, Sancho. Like they're the best players, man. Like I know Sterling had a great tournament.
The manager's philosophy, right? Like when there's something going right, they don't change or they don't like to change. So I guess not changing the starting lineup was a good thing as a manager for the final, but Grealish should have started along the way anyway.
But whatever done, it was a very close final. A final decided by penalties would have gone either way.
Yeah, true that.
Whoever loses gets a lot of the blame. But
that too, though. Southgate brought in, I think, is one of the most controversial and talked about topics in the world. Bringing in Sancho and Rashford just for penalties, when I think between them they had very little shared game time. I mean, Sancho and Rashford, whatever said and done today, they've been taking the football world by storm, but nothing taken away from them. But it's a whole other ball game coming into a final of a Euro and having to go in just to take a penalty. That's a whole different conversation right there. Maybe he should have stuck to Grealish, because Grealish has come out with a statement saying he wanted to take a penalty, and he had Sterling. Sterling, we have seen taking a couple of penalties for Manchester City over the past couple of seasons.
And missing.
True, but again, he played the entire tournament. Like, he was never on the bench. He had the most goals for England up until Harry Kane put his hand up in the knockout stages, right? So I still believe maybe Sterling and Grealish should have been taken penalties, just because they've had more game time. They've taken up the pressure. Sancho just he had 10 minutes of game time or less coming into the final.
I think he started the
third game,
last
right?
group
Third
game,
game.
yeah, last group. Yeah. So
But these are all international superstars who have been playing consistently in
I agree.
foreign
I think the
leagues.
yeah,
idea
man,
was
like,
right. It's just that they didn't have playtime. That makes a
and
difference.
also like England, they scored so fast, man. Like, coming into the final, like, why did you like go for the rest of the game without attacking even? Like, they just gave the game away. They were like, we scored now, we're gonna defend until the 90th minute. That's what their mindset was, and I believe that's what that led Italy to win, man. Like, Italy didn't fall back down. They just kept their head straight, and they just went for it, man. They got a scrappy goal, but they still got it, man. They got it, and they took it to penalties, and that's what
So
happened, man.
to talk about Italy's strategies, I think the only game in the entire tournament where we didn't see Italy as the dominant side was their clash against Spain. That was
Definitely.
Spain dominated the ball. Spain got the attackers in front. They didn't care. Spain didn't care if they had the likes of really fast Immobile or Insigne in the back and Chiesa, obviously. But they kept playing a high line, just like they always do. Then they played slow centre backs. They played with the likes of Eric Garcia and Aymeric Laporte. So they had slow centre backs, but they still dominated the game from the halfway line.
Dominated possession.
I don't think that's the case. I felt like they dominated the game. They had more shots,
Yes, I
even though
agree.
they created more chances. I mean, Spain's midfield was great. The likes of Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres, and Pedri coming into the games, they did a really good job of creating chances. And like Chanuka said earlier, I feel like had Spain had a better centre forward or a striker, they would have gone the whole way.
Also, that
Spain-
game didn't he start like Oyarzabal as a false nine without starting Morata?
He
I
did.
think that was
He
a
did.
big mistake as well.
Yeah, that's another.
Because Spain
That's
actually created a lot of chances, a shitload of
exactly,
chances,
man.
but still,
And he missed a
there
lot
was a
too,
striker.
man. Oyarzabal missed a lot.
Right.
But for his point, what's his name? Oyarzabal?
Yes.
He came in the last two games, I think, for Spain in the extra time or close to extra time, and he had a really good stint.
But
I think
it
it was a deserved start,
right.
But he failed.
Oyarzabal is the greatest
One of the
contribution.
wings, right? Rather than
Exactly. He plays for his club as a left winger. So talking about Oyarzabal, his biggest contribution for Spain was against the penalty shootout against Switzerland, where he converted his penalty. Spot on, beautiful job. But coming in, I felt like Spain really needed a better centre forward, because even Dani Olmo, fantastic tournament, fantastic player, but in the final third, making shots on goal, making their keeper suffer, they didn't do it much. Morata, he had a good tournament for Juventus, a good season for Juventus, and so did Gerard Moreno, but neither of them managed to convert that to the Spanish lineup. And definitely having a better centre forward would have done them great. Do you all believe any centre forwards missed out? Talking about the Spanish squad selection coming in.
I think Spain's
we
like
don't have a lot
earlier.
of
Yeah, that's the
strikers
thing,
coming
man.
up to Spain.
Yeah. Spain's problem even before Luis Enrique
That was
joined
never
was
the case, coming from
yeah,
the Euros and the 2010 World Cup. We had David
man.
Villa. So he wasn't a striker per se, right? He was a
Yeah.
forward, but came to the wings.
I feel like after Fernando Torres, like there wasn't a great Spanish striker to come out, man, like as good as him.
Yeah, I apologize. I missed out on Torres, but yeah,
Yeah.
still.
I feel like right now there's a scarcity of center forwards for Spain, and that's been the main problem. I feel like Diego Costa would have been great, even though he hasn't had a great season. He was really good in the World Cup, though. I don't know what happened to him. Like
So far we've discussed about Spain, Italy, and England.
Yeah.
How about we approach this in a different way? Did you have favorites for this tournament? We can discuss favorites and an underdog we saw,
I
come
feel
up.
like my favorites was France because they had a really fucking good squad, man. Like Benzema made his return, and Griezmann, Mbappe, Coman, man. The midfield had Pogba, Kante.
Yeah.
I think they had a packed squad all around.
They were my favorites too. I expected them to be.
I expected them to at least come to a semi-final or final, but
I didn't think they'll fall at the hands of the Swiss. That's
yeah, man, exactly. Switzerland, like, come on, man. Granit Xhaka running riot on France, man. Come on, man. And right. That
who do we blame? Adrian Rabiot.
I feel like they ran into trouble with the left backs, right? I think both their left backs were injured. So, yeah. Lucas Digne and Lucas Hernandez both injured. So that's why he switched to a back three. I mean, that's understandable, man. Like playing Rabiot as left wing back. So essentially he'll be a part of the midfield anyway, right? So I don't know.
Before we go, were any of you neutral fans? Or did you have a team that you supported?
No, because I support Spain, so I was supporting Spain.
I was supporting France, actually.
I wasn't counting on them to win or go this far. I was counting on France to win.
Okay, so France was the...
I was supporting France all the way.
I didn't exactly support France. I did think of them as a favorite. But after their wonderful group stage performance, I also thought Netherlands could have gone much further. But maybe a return Van Dijk would give him a better chance in the World Cup. Because I think Matthias de Ligt made a really, really rash call in that game where he got a red card.
That was unfortunate.
That I think brought the demise of...
no, it was a good tournament. I think we had like 5, 6 top teams or maybe 7 top teams. Right. Which could have gone either way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even Portugal. Had Portugal not met...
Come on. We can't make links like that.
I agree.
Say that again, bro?
Had Portugal not met Belgium that soon in their knockouts, do you think they had met?
Come on.
Yeah, but that's all on them though, right?
In 2016, Portugal didn't have this strong of a squad, but they worked as a team somehow. I don't know. It was a complete opposite.
So I was looking at Portugal's squad and their road to the finals in 2016. It turns out that they have not scored or won a game in regulation
90 minutes, yeah.
Right. Till they got to like the semi-finals. Yeah. And even the final against France, it was an each goal that carried.
And also, I think, if I remember correctly, even in the group stages, they finished third, and they went on to win it. Man.
Exactly. Right. So that was kind of how England and the likes of England and Spain came out.
Exactly.
It was anyone's game, but Italy, I think they dominated throughout the tournament. Can't take anything from them. Yeah. They were clear-cut favorites to win.
Italy team demonstrated more chemistry even from the start.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's more down to the coach, right? Mancini is a very good coach who can get something out of whatever he's given. Like that Italy team,
on and off the field both, right? Just fans and also like the way they dressed, even the managers, they were like a team. They wanted to win really classy as well.
Man.
I don't know. Classy. I think that make a difference as well.
I'm not gonna take anything.
And also, it was a hell of a story, right? Going out of the World Cup qualifiers.
That too, man. That
going on to win the Euros.
Yeah, they never made the World Cup last time. I just remembered that.
Yeah, nothing to take away from Italy. The only thing I didn't expect is I didn't expect the final to be that close. I expected Italy to take it during 90 minutes, but it was great. The first goal I did not see it coming. I did not see
Yeah, man.
first
Luke Shaw out
from
of nowhere. Like, come on.
Luke Shaw,
What?
Kieran Trippier to Luke Shaw, and it was such a beautiful, moment. It was a great. I'm not a fan of the English team, but I gotta give it.
Hearing beautiful and Luke Shaw, the same sentence by Ovin.
Nah, yeah, that doesn't
So,
go on the same.
but I mean, even England, they came in. I feel like had Trent been on the squad and not getting injured, I felt like he would have played. I feel like he would have played secure the right wing back and the right back row. Trent's problems over the past to Liverpool has only been about his defense. Maybe he would have thrived much better at a wing back role when Southgate opted to play three at the back.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely. But I still think like Southgate, like he could have still used his squad better, man. Like he should have started the likes of Grealish and Sancho all the time, man. Like Sterling, you should have seen like I think he was in the final when Grealish came on and Sterling was shifted to the right. They played much better, man. Like Sterling was so better on the right, and what was the most bizarre addition was Mason Mount, who was playing like as a creative midfielder, as a cam, all the whole tournament. He was playing on the right wing in the final. Like made no sense, man. Like he wasn't doing anything much there. Like
I think
you
over
should
the
have
past
used.
season, we've seen really eye-opening decisions coming from managers in finals.
Yeah,
When you
man.
talk about Pep lineup for the Champions League final.
Yeah.
That went the.
I feel like Pep and Southgate are both very good at overcomplicating things, man. I'm not saying they're equally good managers. I'm saying they are very good at overcomplicating simple things, man.
Look, Manchester City went to the Champions League finals with KDB playing centre forward as a false nine.
Right.
We beat Barcelona by playing Wijnaldum as the false nine. Managers make a difference in the team and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't.
No, what the eye-opening decision for the Manchester City lineup was not the fact that the KDB was playing where he was thriving. It was more rather why did Rodri not play in the lineup? Why was there no Fernandinho?
They needed a DM, man. The only goal they scored. If a DM played for City, that Havertz goal wouldn't have happened. Like Mason Mount put in that pass, that was a beautiful pass and a beautiful goal. Take nothing away from that. All I'm saying is, if there was a DM like Fernandinho or Rodri, he would have cut that pass out, man. It went straight to the midfield, and Edison. Edison, right? He always comes forward. So
right. Pep always likes playing a high line, and that's because he always had the defensive. To talk about, back when Pep was Pep was working for us at Barcelona, he had that Busquets. He always counted on the DM role.
Okay, guys. Okay, we have to calm down. We are going.
Yeah, we are going far away, bro.
We are City now.
Oh, shit. All right. So,
anyways, talking about making big decisions in finals. I mean, what Lasitha told was about Wijnaldum as false nine, but that was a crunch game, right? Second leg against Barcelona, and
that wasn't
but
final.
I think most of the time when managers do changes in the final, it doesn't work out for most of them.
Exactly, exactly, man.
I think sticking to a consistent lineup work with the final, isn't it?
Right. One more crazy fact about Italy: they went into the tournament without their best young player. Not to take anything away from Chiesa, Barella, or even Spinazzola for that fact. They've had great seasons, but Sandro Tonali has been moving mountains in Serie A.
Yeah, he had a great season with Milan.
Great that and to be honest, Locatelli stepped in, and Locatelli had a very good group stage.
Look, I can argue England left without their best player too.
I just missed the point a little while. If had been there, he would have played.
The name on the back of my t-shirt.
Is it?
But even
what was the
without
reason
Trent,
he wasn't picked?
I think he got injured in the injured in the warm-up games, something like that.
Yeah, right.
So another factor about England is look at their midfield, man. They only carried Jordan Henderson, uh, Rice, Calvin Phillips, and Mason Mount. That's three DMs. Okay. Well, let's say Jordan Henderson. Is he DM or box to box? He's like a DM, right?
Box to box player.
And Mason Mount is you can use him as a creative midfielder. But still 4 man, and look at the amount of defenders he took. He took 3 right backs, man. Reece James, Trippier, Kyle Walker. He could have easily dropped 1 right back. He didn't use Reece James at all. Why did you take him? You could have dropped him. You could have taken James Madison. You had James Ward-Prowse, a set piece taker. He's a really good free kick taker. Like, these are some of the decisions like I didn't like about Southgate, man. Like, he was going to take about 3 left backs too, I think, and ended up just playing Luke Shaw all the time. I feel like Ben Chilwell should have played too. He was hardly used. Like,
but then again, Luke Shaw had a great tournament though.
Yeah,
I also preferred.
He had a great tournament,
Chilwell,
but I'm saying Chilwell had a great season with Chelsea. Like, from having a bad run of form with under Lampard to having a great run of form, and also like he has never played left wing back, and he thrived under Tuchel playing that wing back role, and also Southgate plays wing backs essentially. So I didn't get why he didn't use Chilwell at all, and. Shaw was good. Shaw had a great season, but I'm saying Chilwell would have been better at left wing back.
Honestly, I'm team Southgate. Whatever said, and because he made it to the final, and his tactics
that's true.
Basically lost on a lottery, penalties. That's what it is. His tactics. He played safer than most managers. I think he took a mixed approach, attack and defense, while England put more emphasis because they have young players, not experienced playing with each other. So he went with much safer options, and he gave the English a good run at the tournament, probably their best run.
So talking about Euros, we can't fail to mention the fact that Denmark did absolutely great.
Oh yeah, man!
To get
after even losing Eriksen, man, look at. I think they played with that in the back of their minds, man. Like, they had an extra boost with that, man.
Do you think that incident with Eriksen in their first game that helped them boost their morale? I mean, they lost their first.
Bro,
I feel like
a great tournament always has a underdog. This tournament had.
Yeah, I feel like Denmark
Swiss managed to surprise us.
Yeah, Sweden and Ukraine.
Sweden has been a top team.
But they haven't had a good run of form over the past years. Yeah. They actually did quite well, and Ukraine did really great to beat the the Sweden team. So I just felt like it was a really great tournament for the underdog.
Even Sweden did well as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They did well until they didn't.
Also, don't you guys think that England had a really easy route to the final, like bar the Germany game? Even the Germany game, if Muller scored that, and some of the chances Germany had, that would have been a different game if Muller scored and if Werner scored.
Right.
Bar that game, don't you guys think like they had one of the easiest routes to the final? Don't you think?
They probably had the easiest route.
Let's say I agree. Less hard. I mean, it wasn't easy, but.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It didn't look easy at the start, but things fell in place for them.
But to talk about the German side, I feel like
do we have to talk about the German side?
Talk about the German side.
We have to. Another good
shout out to Vinul.
They had one of the most ups and downs tournament. I mean, they beat Portugal. Yeah. They wiped the slate with them, and then they against French, and even did they end up beating Hungary?
No, they drew against Hungary. They almost lost against Hungary. Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about that group of death. The group of death, which turned out, I'll say this. That group had the most entertaining matches of the start. But
for sure.
What happened to all of the teams when they reached the knockouts? All of them, boom, 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 out of the tournament in 1 week, man. Crazy.
group of death wise, they delivered that group delivered some of the best games we saw.
Yeah.
Until the last minute, we weren't sure who was stopping the group. Who was second, was
Yeah,
third, was
exactly,
fourth.
man.
So
That's what I'm saying.
Off in the quarters or earlier.
Why is it unfortunate?
Because we did not expect to see that.
I kind of expected this tournament to be competitive.
You were just saying how you were backing up the French.
I expected them to be in the finals because you see their squad and that's what you expect.
Exactly.
If you don't expect that, then
I don't think France played their best football.
They did. But
No,
football has been very competitive the last 3-4 seasons. It's been balancing out, and many tournaments have been more exciting. You can't really put a team to as a major favorite. It's very close now, so that's what I expected from this tournament, and it delivered.
Talking about favorites of things, let's talk about how Messi is the favorite to win the Ballon d'Or once again.
Look, talking about Spain. We're not going to talk about Messi then.
No, we
let's
got
talk
it.
about other important.
That's the big deal in football.
No, let's go to Copa America.
I'm not taking anything away from Italy. I'm not taking anything away from Italy, but Messi finally won an international tournament with Argentina. This has been 15 years in the making.